Hey, 𝗟𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗃𝗃 here. Today is January 13th, so it's day 13 on 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗃, the GovCon journey to 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗃 journey, the journey to $1 million as a government contractor. If it's your first time here, welcome. Anybody who's been here before is cutting me some slack because they know I got a day job and I'm doing this fast. But the point of this journey is to show you how to make $1 million in 2025 as a government contractor by doing it myself. Instead of me teaching you what to do, instead of me telling you if I was going to start again, this is what I do, which I've done before. I'm not knocking it. I'm just saying those are different videos. This journey is about me standing up a company called 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃. And from day one, January 1st, I've been showing you every single thing I'm doing. And I'm going to build it 1 hour a day max. I'm going to build it to $1 million in revenue. And I'm going to show you complete transparency. So welcome. If you don't know who I am, my name is Neil McDonnell. I'm the president of the GovCon Chamber of Commerce. I am co-founder of GovCon in a Box. Go to GovConinAbox.com. I love it. We're providing all sorts of tools out there. We have paid tools, but a ton of free tools. So I like it. Okay, so a quick recap just for the fun of it, since today's the 13th. And I guess I could wait till the 14th to do a recap, but I might as well do it here because I'm going to go into the capability statement today and how to start creating the capability statement. But I wanted to back up and just walk through the first 12 days really quick. Day 1 and 2, I was figuring out what do I sell. So you can watch those videos, but I really niched down. Something I want to just really tell you a quick story about one of my customers. So I do a ton of stuff for free, but I did have workshop customers, et cetera. And one of my customers, we were looking at her profile on GovCon in a Box, because on GovCon in a Box, we provide people a snapshot of how visible are they to federal buyers. And when we were looking at hers, and looking at her USA spending data, and this is data basically that is saying what contracts has she won. When you look at the last year, it's like elevator service, elevator service, elevator service, elevator services, these contracts she has won. And before that, when she had worked with us, this 2 years ago, but we were guiding her through the same process I'm teaching you in 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗃, guiding her through the process. And she started with painting, flooring, and elevator services. And through our conversation about niching down, we helped her realize that first off, she actually liked elevator services better. She had engineering certifications and things like that, but also it was the most profitable of the 3 revenue streams. And so we helped her niche down on it. Just because she's niched down on elevators doesn't mean she can't do some flooring and painting services. But the idea is when you niche down, you can get in the door. Then you can do everything else later. So it was really rewarding to watch her go through that process, help her go through that process to niche down, and then to watch it result in her winning contracts. I didn't help her win contracts. I taught her the process so that she and her team could win it over and over again. So that's really exciting. So day 1 and 2, for me, for 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗃, it's about determining what we sell. By the way, Nancy is my wife's name, so I call it 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃𝗃. Day 2 or 3 and 4, it was about finding who's buying what I'm selling, which federal agency is buying what I'm selling, and which NAICS codes are they using, which PSC codes. And you can go watch those videos to learn what those things are. But really understanding how the government's buying and who's buying. And then the next day, 5 and 6, I was looking at who's winning what I wish I was winning. So what small and large businesses are winning contracts that I wish I would win. I can look at those to try to team with them. If I wanted to, I could look at those and say, I'm going to compete against you, right? So that was that exercise. Then I moved into forming an LLC, and that was on Friday, I think. So whatever day that was, 12, 11, 10th, I think. On Friday, I formed an LLC, or I started the process. The first thing you do is a name check, and you go check it out. But it instantly stopped me because I have to wait for these guys to get back to me. And they'll probably get back to me today, and I didn't even look, which is pretty silly now that I think about it. But anyways, I did that on Friday. I showed the exact process. Saturday and Sunday was about a logo. So the last 2 days about a logo. I said, well, I need a logo to create a capability statement. I'm going to use a logo in the top left-hand side. Let me show you how to do that. I went into Fiverr and showed you how I requested a logo. And then the next day I showed you how I received it, did some editings, and then accepted it. So now I have a logo. So there, you caught up. Now I want to get into talking about a capability statement. A capability statement is the second most important marketing asset you can have. The first one is your small business profile. That's made up of SAM and DSBS, which I will teach you in a couple of days or whenever, right? But right now, I'm going to jump ahead to the second most important marketing asset is your capability statement. So I'm going to show you a little bit so that you can go do more learning on your own. And then I'm going to show you me just starting it. So first, let me line up a screen I can share here with you. So GovCon Chamber, I got to find it really quick. GovCon Chamber. And then, so you would think I'd have this up and running, but again, I got a day job. But I'm off to the races now. So come on, tell me it's capability statement. Oh, it's not. Oh, sorry. You got to wait a second. I got to find the URL. Come on, show it to me. Professional. Okay, bear with me. A couple more seconds. We got quiet time, dead time on the air. I got just too many messages coming in. And yes, I know I should have this in an easier way to look at it, but that's all right. Come on, you're killing me. It's a great page. Found it. Sorry. Okay, copy the link. Let me come back. Control A, Control V, enter, and let me show the screen. Where's my sharing? Sharing, and the window, and the screen. Okay, we're off to the races. Let me hide that. Let me see how I'm sharing this. Good, that's perfect. Put myself down in the corner. So this is on GovConChamber.com/whatever. Don't worry about it, because when I post this video, I'll have the link inside the description. Anytime I talk in any of these videos and I mention a link, I put it in there right away and I carry them all forward. Okay, so here we created this page. By the way, GovCon Chamber is what I started in 2018 after I sold my last company. And it's basically a nonprofit that's not registered as a nonprofit. And the idea is GovCon Chamber was me wanting to share the process of government contracting. I say government contracting is not a secret. It's just a process. When you know the process, you're going to have success. And so in here, we have all sorts of good information, and you can take a look at it. But this particular page is about the capability statement. So you can see in here, we got a lot of good stuff. If you want a template, which I'll use in a minute, it's right there. And then we've got NAICS code, NAICS and keyword tools. Don't worry about those. Those are the description, but it's good. And then as you come down, you start seeing, well, there's some nice stuff about look how great we are. But then I talk about the purpose of the capability statement. And before I show you the template, I really want you to understand the capability statement and all marketing assets have a purpose. Everything has a purpose. And the purpose of the capability statement is to get you meetings. It is not to inform. I just did a networking event today with over 100 people. And in there, I was mentioning that in the Department of Energy was where I got this strength of messaging around. Don't make your capability statement pretty. Make it effective. Make it tell me what you sell so I can decide whether I buy what you sell. And the woman who told me from Department of Energy, she was a federal buyer, and she said, don't make your capability statement pink just to show me you're a woman-owned company. Don't put a flag on there just to show me you're patriotic. It's like, we get it. I need to see quickly, what do you sell? And so I came up with this idea of a 6-second capability statement, the ability to communicate what you sell in 6 seconds or less. You want to be rejected. Getting sales meetings, things like that, is just like a gold mine. Think how much gold is in a gold mine and how much dirt. The dirt is no's in sales and the gold are yeses, right? And so we just need to get rid of the dirt. It's no big deal. And then there's the gold. And so with a capability statement, that makes it easier for people to say dirt or gold. The faster you can move on to a person who might be a yes, and the faster they can make that decision for you. All right, so 6 seconds is the one thing you want to keep in mind. And the other main thing about the capability statement that I teach is it should be in a Z format. It should be read just like you're reading when a government buyer are in the market research phase, they're using blah, blah, blah. They don't have time to read, right? So we read in a Z format. Ironically, I was taking forever to read that. And so the idea is you want to make sure your capability statement is in the Z format. Let me see if I got a picture of it. So here's some good stuff. There's some really good videos about where I train. Here you go. So this is what a Z format is. You see right here, it starts on the left. This is why before I could do the capability statement, I said, oh, let me go get a logo. And so I got my company logo. I start there. The company logo tells me, tells them, and let me see if I can zoom in a little bit there. So the company logo instantly says, oh, this is 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃 or whatever, it's something, right? And then you come across, and the cage code UEI, I gotta update this one. It's pretty old. There's no DUNS, forget about that. But the cage code in UEI, it instantly tells them that I'm registered in SAM, and so I at least have done that much. And then when I come to the right, if I'm a woman-owned small business or an 8A, you know, these are tags, and you can learn about them later. But if I'm one of those things and I put it in the top right-hand corner, then I'm communicating that I'm farther along as a government contractor than 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃 is, which is a brand new company, right? And so I'm coming across. And then as I come down in that Z format, instead of reading it like a paragraph, I'm reading the whole capability statement in one glorified Z. And so I come down into core competencies, which is another way of saying, what do you sell? I sell these 3 things. And underneath one umbrella, and I'll show you about how I do that. And then I come down. So here's what I sell. Following the Z, here is who's paid me or my experience. You're going to see me put my experience in, even though 𝗟𝗟𝗃𝗃 hasn't been paid for before, right? It's like, how do you do that? And I'll show you how I do that. And then so I come all the way down to the bottom, and I have contact information, other stuff. The reason you see contact information, the email, phone number, and the NAICS codes at the bottom is because nobody cares about that stuff. Nobody cares who you are until they decide that they even want to meet with you. But if they're looking at a capability statement, the first thing I want to see is if there's even a match. I don't need to see your email. I need to see, what do you sell, and does it align to what I need? And so that's the idea behind it. You see 2 other paragraphs here, a short intro paragraph, and I'll show you how to do it, but that's really not that important. It's just a little fluff line. And then you see differentiators, and that's not as important because many companies, frankly, haven't got to the stage where they have true differentiators. In this place, and you'll see me talk about it, but an example of a differentiator you might put there is the level of personal certifications. Example is my last company. We had more Microsoft certified people than any other company. Or we have ISO certification. You can learn more about that. But this is the Z format, and that's what I'm going to build. Really quickly, just quick training, 6 seconds, Z format. I'm using it quickly to highlight the tags. One main core competency. So I'm going to probably put communication outreach, and then I show it's LinkedIn, or something. I'll figure that out. We'll see how much I get done today, and then I'll do it offline. And then past performance, boring stuff at the bottom. The one thing I don't have here, and I probably have it somewhere else, is the capability statement, 1 page, front only. This, because if I can't convince you to meet with me on the front page, how's the second page going to help? The second thing is 14-point font. It makes you have to work harder to put the a concise bullet about what you do, not a whole bunch of words. And it makes it very easy for the other people to read because, you know, reading's tough these days. So, okay, let me zoom out really quick. Where am I? Okay, so I got that stuff. And just see if there's anything else I want to tell you about. You can go look at this. I'll give this to you. Hey, yay, there's me. All right, so that was that. I'm going to open the template. Let me see if this guy. Oh, that's not the template. I wanted to download the template. Oh, I got to put a button here. I thought you would have been able to download the template because I want you to. I'm giving it away for free. Oh, there it is. That's funny. I got to tell my team. Let's put that in red. I didn't even see the blue box. So let's take a look at it and see. Now, this is the fun part. Let me see if you can even see it. Oh, good. I'm sharing it still. So this is what it looks like when it's filled out. It is not going to win any awards, right? It's got GovCon Chamber comes across, and then it's got some basic stuff. And so this has a lot of extra stuff. I'm going to get rid of this EW thing because this is a little older template that I have. I have to update it. It's embarrassing that I called it 2025. I got to update it a little bit because the SBA now does the women-owned certifications. But you can see how it flows that pattern that I just did. In fact, we've even made some other designs. So blah, blah, blah. This is it. This is what I'm going to build right now. So let me stop sharing, and I'm going to open up a real one. Let me stop sharing there. And then there you are. But give me 2 seconds, and I'm going to open. So while I'm opening this up, I'll tell you, I only do capability statements in Microsoft Word. I don't use Canva. I get furious when I see people do it in these professional graphic tools. And the reason is because after the fact, no one can edit it. Unless you're that expert, you can't do it. But if you do it if you're a Google shop, do it in Google Docs right from the beginning. I'm a Microsoft shop, so I do it in Microsoft Word. But I can hand that to anybody in the company, and they can change it and modify it as it goes along if they wanted to. But I've run into too many times when the person who creates the capability statement for you, uses these fancy tools, and then you're just stuck, or you're having to recreate it, right? So I don't want you to do that. I'll give you a link to this one if you want it. Okay, so I got to go quiet as I try to find the document I'm looking for. Call plan. This is not quite what I think I'll use this one. Let me see if it opens for me. Okay, so I'm in Microsoft Word. Let me find you, and I will share my screen. Okay, how am I doing on time? 16 minutes. We're doing all right. You got a hard stop, or I keep going? I'm just kidding. We're on video. Okay, so let me share. It's the end of the day. I'm in a good mood because I'm here with you. The site, Microsoft Word. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hide that. So here's my capability statement. One thing I know I'm going to do right away is you see these two. Actually, let me do two things really quick. Let me stop sharing for 1 second. I don't need you to see the background. Okay, so let me. I'm going to save this really quick first. So save as, and I'll show you what I do with the file name in a second. So Nancy Co. and delete, and then 2025. Okay, and then put that inside of the download. So I'm just saving it right now. You can't see it, but I'm just saving it. But I don't need you to see my whole personal folder structure. Okay, so I saved that, and I'm gonna do one more thing. Here, I want to replace this file, and then I will come back and show you 2 seconds. I'm just putting my logo, my brand new fancy dancy logo that I got from Fiverr, that hopefully everybody watched that video and we're thrilled about. Insert. Perfect. Okay, so let me go back to share my screen. Where are you? Window, boom. Okay, you see my fancy Nancy logo? So if you watch my thing, logos don't matter. We often get obsessed with a logo. It's like, who cares? Okay, so all I did, what you did not see, all I did was I saved the file name to Nancy Co. Oh, I should have got rid of template, but I'll do that later. But capability statement, Nancy Co. 2025. That's a good enough name. I can add more things in if I wanted, and I'll show you how to do that later. More metadata, but I'll probably put into my title LinkedIn engagement. So I didn't think about it already. And the second thing, the only other thing I did was I went and replaced the GovCon Chamber logo with the Nancy logo, Nancy Co logo. Okay. And by the way, this is how new I am to my company name. I forgot that there's no space. I like it to be one word, Nancy Co. That way, if I'm doing it somewhere else, it's good to go. All right. So what I can see here is I'm on my template, right? And I'm starting to work on it. And I'll show you how fast I kind of move forward on this. I'm going to grab this logo and get rid of it. These are contract vehicles. I don't have that. The next thing is I actually don't have any of these guys. So first thing I'm going to do is get rid of it. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of it. But actually, I can think of a logo now that I'm going to put there. So let me get rid of it. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Now, because I don't have a company name with my logo, I chose not to. I need to put my company name in here for them to be able to see. So I'm going to shrink this guy a little bit. This is Microsoft Word, by the way, and I just created a bunch of these text boxes, and all I have to do is go in and kind of fill them out. So I'm going to select these two, and actually I might even leave those for 1 second. Let me click away and click back. I might make this guy bigger, and oops. Come down. I don't have a UEI at the moment. So Nancy Co, LLC. And you don't have to put LLC, but because my company name is so darn small, I'm doing that. So I'm going to come up like this. I can see already I'm going to get rid of this line for 1 second. And I'll show you what I'm doing. So I'm making this bigger. Oops. I'm going to make this guy bigger. So that's probably big enough. I mean, it's only 24. I thought it was way bigger. Oh, it's only 24. I can go a little bigger. So it makes it easy, and maybe it sticks in their mind or something. And now what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to change this color to match my logo of red, white, and blue. So here I can go to the font, and actually, instead of matching the logo, which is pretty dark red, and if I had thought about it, I might have asked for this red to be on my logo, but blah. So let's just say that. I'm not even going to go somewhere else. You see how this is underlined? Because I'm creating a company called 𝗟𝗂, I got to save this. So I want to add it to my dictionary. And so now it won't be underlined. And now so there, it looks good. When I register in SAM and DSBS, or excuse me, when I register in SAM, I'll update the cage code, etc. So let me grab this guy. And actually, now that I know this, I'm going to grab this guy and just highlight it. So it reminds me I need to do it. 𝗟𝗂 is too close to the thing, so I'm going to spread that out a little bit. I'm not teaching a word, but I'm kind of showing a little bit. I'm just going to give it a little bit of space. So there you go. It kind of looks a little better. It's not the biggest thing. And actually, I kind of like how the capability statement, the cage code, and the 𝗟𝗂 all kind of make this upside down, or it's a funnel. So that looks good. Okay, so something I want to put here, and I got to stop sharing for 1 second, and then I'll tell you what I do. I want to put a logo. So I'm just I got to go find it really quick. But I want to put a logo in on the right-hand side that is just saying that I'm a small business. So the SBA has all these SBA logos. And it actually, hold on a second. Let me use this one. Let me just add it in on here. And so as I do this thing, got to find it. I'm going to upload it. I'm inserting a picture just so you know. That's the wrong thing. So I'm going to insert a picture really quick. Just need to go get the SBA logo. I know I'm just talking. It doesn't make for a great video unless you're really immersed. Okay, so SBA. I need big logos so I can see these things. So 8A certified. Where's the small business? Some of this stuff probably could have been better, but that's all right. Let me, I'm trying to find the logo that'll work, but I don't really have them organized, unfortunately. So 1 second. Well, you know what? I'm not going to waste your time. So I'm just going to put here woman owned for 1 second. Wait, it all went away on me. Come on. You're killing me here. I'm on live. It's embarrassing. If you come to my daily training, you'd see me far more prepared. Okay, so let me just do this one for a second. Where are you? Let me go back and find you. Share my screen. Okay, sorry it took a little bit. I just wanted to be able to show you that how I use a logo as a placeholder. And so what I'm trying to do here, tie it through, I think this one's in front of text. And so move with text, fixed position. So all I'm doing is changing this to say, make sure it's a floating picture, and then fix it somewhere on the page. And I'll show you what I mean. So if I take this and I shrink it down, a lot more, and now I move it up. Let me come back up here. So right here, if I come up like this, what I want to do is make it the same size as this guy over here. So I'm just going to go in and look at it. The white space isn't quite the same, but still, I think I do want to make it smaller. That's about good enough. And I want to make these two aligned in the center. So if I come over here to align and I say middle, not center, but middle, and then I click here, let me zoom back out. Now I'm going to drag this guy all the way over, and I'm going to eyeball it. If I had a professional graphic person, they might do something else. But if I back up for a second, just to put it in perspective where we're at, right? So now I got my capability statement. I can actually see this one. It's small, so I'm going to make it bigger and take up some more real estate. This one here, I'm just kind of winging it. So I can come back and perfect it. But now I got my company logo and the SBA logo anchoring the right and left. If I had an actual certification, I would use that. But when I do register in SAM, I will be a small business certified. And SBA has a logo just like this, so it'll look nice up there. And there it's perfect. If you have more stuff that is something really, really valuable and differentiator, put it up there. Okay, so I'm watching my time. Let me just do a time check really quick. Okay, so I'm 25 minutes. I'm going to go 5 minutes more max. But I just wanted to show you, like here, I've got core competencies. And so you can decide how you want to do it. Like these logos are fine. But what I like to do is just have words that help people understand what we're doing. And I'm just going to give some examples, and I'll go work on it on my own, come back and show you what I did. I don't need to work every part of it with you because I need to hit the whiteboard and think a little bit. But here, so I'm going to do LinkedIn, and industry engagement. Let me see what that looks like. So I already ran out of space. There you go. So I can stretch a little bit. I can stretch it, and now LinkedIn engagement. I have to figure out what other things I want to put in here. Oh, darn. It's LinkedIn. It's going to wrap. No. Can I get a little bit more? So I'll figure that out. I might even get rid of these icons because they're pretty useless. Those were like original design I had done. And then I could do other things like LinkedIn follower growth. And here's the thing, and I'm going to stop there and I'll put the other stuff in. What I want you to understand is this is not designed to make sense to everybody. You know, what I want is when I hand it to somebody for them to go, yeah, I know we don't do this. Or I hand it to somebody and they go, oh my God, we've been thinking about, we need to step up our game in LinkedIn. Tell us what you do, right? I'm looking for the person who is already ready to buy what I'm selling, right? They don't know that they're going to buy it, but they already know that LinkedIn is valuable. They have the same things. There's this line in sales that you shouldn't try to convince people to believe what you believe, right? And I guess the same could work with dating, but you don't want to convince people to believe what you believe. You want to find the people who believe what you believe already and work with them. In sales, that means I need to find somebody who believes that engaging industry is important. I need to find somebody who believes that social media is a path to that. I ultimately want to find somebody who believes that they don't do LinkedIn well, but they should, right? And so when I'm going to put my words here, it is designed for somebody who goes, tell me more about that. I don't want to have a conversation. I don't want to convince them that social media or what we call social selling is a good idea. Just by the things they say to me, I'll rule them out. And this is a really important thing about sales is you got to say no fast to people if they are not saying no to you, because otherwise you waste your time spinning your wheels in an area you don't need to be. All right, let me pause there for a second. You see the direction I'm going to go. I'm going to work that offline and I'll come back and show you what I am doing. And so I'll wrap up and just tell you, just reminding myself, well, actually, I can't remember. I can't remember. So if you got this far, tell me what link I was supposed to put in the description. I'll come back and put it in there. Hopefully I'll try to remember it, but all I talked about was capability statement. Oh, I know what it is. It's that link to my page, etc. So I'll put that in there. And then tomorrow I'm going to take a break for the capability statement. I'll probably work that 2 days on my own and come back and show you when it's got some traction. And I'm not going to work that hard on it. Remember, I'm only doing an hour a day, so I only got 30 minutes left here. What I want to do, though, is show you if my LLC is starting, is ready to move forward, then I want to show you how I'm moving that forward because it's really important to me, actually, that I get into SAM and I start getting registered and I find out whether the kind of virtual physical address I'm using is going to work. So anything that might be a problem, I want to try to do it early. But we're only in day 13. We're cruising along. We're already getting into the capability statement. Tomorrow, I will talk to you more about that LLC and we'll have some more fun. All right, I will see you in tomorrow's training.